Welcome everyone. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. I know unfortunately right now with what we're seeing in the market, completely red. As you saw that video I made yesterday on my stream, I did title it, "The market is going to go ahead and crash" or something like that. Same title I did today. Same thumbnail I've had in the past with my other YouTube channel. But anyways, welcome everybody. Long time no see. Actually, we just streamed yesterday. But you know what I mean. I hope all of you are having a good one despite the fact that the market is currently down. One thing I do want to go ahead and mention though is we're going to be talking about why 99% of you won't make it in this market. And I do not want to go ahead and sound negative because I'm probably one of the most very positive people, but I also like to be completely honest, and the honest truth is that a lot of you won't be able to make it this cycle. How's it going, Happy? Thank you for being here. And that's the reality of the truth, right? So I will go ahead and talk about possibly a strategy on how I believe we could go ahead and hit at least 6 figures plus, or possibly even 7 figures this bull cycle, right? So definitely make sure to watch till the end. This will go ahead and be a quick live stream. Happy 4th for all of you that do celebrate it. And let me go ahead and share this live stream with my community and see who joins us today. It is actually quite late, but I've noticed that people do still have the tendency to join the live streams during this time, right? So let me go ahead and share this right now. And here you go. We are now officially live, everyone. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure to go ahead and use my link down below in the description. Blofin giving all the way up to $5,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC platform. Takes less than 3 seconds to go ahead and create an account, and it does help support the channel. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about today's market. I do want to go ahead and mention that none of this is financial advice. It's solely for educational purposes only. So let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with crypto bubbles, as you see on the 1 hour, market is red all across the board, even on the daily. I've been seeing a lot of this, a lot of panic going on in the market, right? And that's kind of the reason why I talked about why many of you won't be able to make it this season in the market, unfortunately. And if the truth is not what you want to hear, this video is not for you. Might as well just dislike this video, click off, comment or something, and just leave. Don't even bother wasting your time commenting if that's the case. But today's live stream is not going to be for everyone, right? So a lot of people will go ahead and lose money, and a lot of you probably have already lost money. Vernon, how's it going, buddy? Glad to go ahead and see you here today. Kelly, good. How's it going, bro? Hoppy music on YouTube. What does that mean? You're asking to put music on YouTube? Hope all of you are having a good one. But anyways, as I was saying, yeah, so the goal moving forward will be to at least try to upload once or twice a week. My uploading schedule has been differently with the new role that I now have. Has been keeping me very, very busy. I do believe that's probably going to be changing towards September. I will have a little bit more time, or I'll try to figure out a way to manage to go ahead and have more time. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I've been just on the grind right now, and that's what I recommend all of you to be on right now, right? The way the market is looking, the more time you spend on the market, the more of the bad mistakes you're gonna make, right? So right now I would recommend enjoy your time, man. Spend some time with family if that's what you want to do, some friends, enjoy your summer, or just go work. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting my head down. I've looked at my positions, man, and a lot of my positions are down quite a lot, especially because I am leveraged. And I'm not using actual leverage, right? But what I mean by leverage, I am positioned on meme tokens. And literally 100% of my portfolio right now is on meme tokens solely. I don't have any altcoins. Right now I'm just holding on to USDC. And I'm going to probably continue to stack USDC moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and stay on stable for now. But besides my stable that I have right now, I literally have all my money in meme tokens. And what that means is that You know, if you're down 40-50% on altcoins, dude, I'm down 80 to 90% almost on a lot of my meme tokens, right? Obviously with Andy, I'm still in profits, but I did went ahead and I did buy the dip, and I have continued to buy the dip, and it just continues to go down, right? And I kind of figured, I did draw up this chart right here, this head and shoulders pattern. So I do believe this is going to be a very, very downside to the market, right? And that's what we're going to go ahead and look at today. So even with my Benny position, I literally loaded up not that long ago. I think it was 3 days ago, and it just has continued to dump. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm done loading up on the dips right now. I'm okay. I'm going to go ahead and wait. I think this market might even dump even further. We might see the meme tokens. If this is not the bottom for the memes, prepare for another additional freaking 80% dump. And I know how harsh that sounds because I've loaded up on Crody pretty darn freaking decent back, right? Like I would never usually load up on a Solana meme token this much. I have over probably almost 14 SOL invested into Crody, and my position's down probably like 50%, so it's not too bad. I've just been dollar cost averaging, but it just continues to go down as I continue to buy the dip, and I'm sure a lot of you kind of feel the same way. For me, fortunately, I really don't feel anything. You know, I've been through this too many times, as a lot of you know, and have been following me since my other old channel, Altcoin John, which I'll discuss the reason why I left that channel, but it really wasn't my choice. And the changes we have been seeing in the channel, I haven't been hiding. I've just been really extremely busy, and I've had a lot of personal things happen literally these last couple months that are outside of my control, especially with the Altcoin John channels, right? So some of you know, many of you don't know. I will go ahead and talk about it some other time. I don't feel like talking about it right now. I really want to go ahead and talk about, you know, the market, what we could be expecting, and some sort of strategy and a plan of how I believe we could go ahead and make anywhere between 6 to 7 figures this season. And I think that's more important, right? I think where I've been doesn't really freaking matter too much. I do think I should go ahead and talk about it, but I think we should probably do this some other time on that, right? But I think right now the main focus is what is going on with the market, right? Because I'm making a video right now because I just felt like it. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood to go ahead and stream today, so let me go ahead and make a stream. And the other reason why I wanted to go ahead and do it was because I think there's a high probability with what we're seeing in the market that we're going to see a continuation to the downside. And I know that's going to shake out a lot of people, right? So my title is clickbait 100%. So if you don't like that, go ahead and exit out. As I mentioned, this channel, I really don't care if you don't like what I say, right? I'm not really here to please you. I'm here to go ahead and state my opinion, and then you decide and make your own decision on what you want to do with that information moving forward. But I did mention yesterday that, you know, there was a high probability that if Bitcoin did continue to get rejected at the levels we're at right now, which we're still not bearish, right? It could just be because of 4th of July tomorrow. Markets closed earlier today on a Wednesday. Tomorrow, today, Thursday, for many of you, 4th of July. It's a major holiday in the U.S. And the market closed early, right? So I'm not too surprised with the volatility we're seeing in the market. I'm going to give you the bullish and the bearish case scenario, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Bitcoin fall down to around $50,000, and that would definitely shake out the market, right? And that would definitely mean that we could see another probably 30 to 40% downside to the altcoins, and then for the meme tokens, probably another 60 to 80%, unfortunately. So if you have continued to dollar cost average on the memes, and you're like, John, like, I thought you said to buy the dips. Well, yeah, I'm freaking buying the dips too, bro. But, you know, really what you could go ahead and do moving forward right now, my opinion is freaking either go ahead and relax, go to vacation, spend some time touching grass, which I can't really give advice on because I don't do that. But go ahead and enjoy yourself, right? Or just go ahead and double down on whatever you're doing, whether it's learning a new skill, your business, a job, or get another second job and keep yourself distracted and make some money, right? Because if this goes the way that could be a probability that it will go down to. And this is just really just a market manipulation shakeout, right? We could go ahead and see some further downside. And I know that's definitely not what you want to hear. And I'm just going to be completely honest, right? I'm going to give you both bullish and bearish case scenario. But before I do go ahead and move forward, let me go ahead and read some comments right here. Matt Furry's first Pepe type character. Oh, Hoppy. That's what you meant. I know what you're talking about. Vernon says Solana invalidated the inverse head and shoulders. It might actually be forming a bearish head and shoulders pattern. I have been enjoying my summer. Haven't been feeling the market as of late. Glad I got out before I lost 90% of my money on some Degen stuff. I was literally watching GME and AMC at the all-time low, and it faded the most part. It sucks, man. Can't have my peak net worth back in no time. Yeah, dude. I mean, and this is kind of like why today's live stream is kind of important, right? And for all those that are not able to make it to the live stream, I appreciate you, all of you watching. I mean, I looked at my freaking channel, and the freaking support that I get after I live stream is freaking insane. It surprises me. Like, I usually get no viewers during this time, or sometimes I get some supporters, so I appreciate everybody that's watching right now. But I've noticed that with the live streams, people actually watch them after I'm done. So that's some really good information, right? So like yesterday I was looking at my one of my last videos, and as you see, I got over 43 views. And 43 views for the small channel that I have is really good. You know what I mean? On average, I should be doing roughly about 40 to 70 views per video, right? Because of my 728 subscribers that I have. Keep in mind, this channel has been out for, I've had this channel for 2-3 years. I have been super inactive. As you see, you can go back all the way down to my videos, and you can go ahead and click on my oldest, and you'll see it's been over for 2 years on this channel. So just keep in mind, most of my subscribers are inactive, right? So I really do appreciate all your guys' support. I mean, look at these stats just from yesterday's video. 146 watch time increase, 35 views increase, 82% on the minutes watched. So I really appreciate every one of you, and thank you so much. I really am planning to go ahead and start live streaming at least once a week. I'm gonna make that for sure the goal. I'm sure I'll be able to commit to more, but I do not want to overcommit, and I do not want to go ahead and say something I'm going to do and then not keep my word, right? But anyways, let's talk about what's going on with the market, right? So with Bitcoin right now, this is what I'm mostly seeing, and I've actually been quite bearish with Bitcoin since around $67,000. So honestly, this is to no surprise to me. So if we do go ahead and see Bitcoin continue to get rejected, especially at around the 62,000, or even at where we're at right now at around, let's call it like $60,000, and it can't break above, we're going to continue to make newer higher lows, and we're going to go ahead and just continue to fall down. And I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and fall down to around that $50,000 on this area of support, and we might even slightly go even underneath it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we even see $47,000 like as a quick liquidity grab, and just stay within this range and just literally entertain this area right here. And that's what I think we're going to probably see with Bitcoin. If we do continue to get rejected, we might see a move where it just goes like this. It has like some sideways action, and then out of nowhere it just starts breaking back up, right? And this is where everybody's going to be caught by surprise. And this is the reason why I started off the video saying 99% of people are going to lose money in this market, and that's just the reality of it. And the reason why is because one, they're either over leveraging themselves like I used to. Like, I haven't touched leverage in months, bro. Like, actually, I'll take that back. I did leverage not that long ago, but I haven't leveraged with a decent amount of money in a while. Why? Because I understand the volatility of this market, and I've lost so much freaking money just this year alone that it's not even funny. Like, I probably lost more money than I've actually made more money, right? And a lot of you are probably quite the opposite. A lot of you probably have already made a lot of money than actually lost, but I've actually lost a lot more money this year alone. I probably lost easily over probably 30 to 40 grand with like just this year alone trading, bro. Like, either trading, getting wrecked, scams, rug pulls. Like, I've at least lost over 40 grand, bro. At least 40 grand. So to me, like, where we're at right now in the market, it just doesn't faze me anymore. Like, I've already lost so much money, not even just this season alone, but even prior prior bull market, I've lost so much freaking money. But I think this market alone, like, I have this whole entire different mindset, right? Like, now I'm just like, I understand where the market's gonna go, and one thing I could go ahead and tell you is that when you stay away from leverage, like, if you're not actively checking your trades, you're not actively trading, just don't trade. Your best bet's going to be dollar cost average, right? If you're trying to make quick money, you're trying to become a millionaire overnight, trying to make $100,000 overnight, whatever your number is, you're more than likely going to lose money. And those are usually the people that lose money, right? The people that are greedy, the people that do not have a goal, the people that are just willing to do whatever it takes to make the money as quick as possible, right? And that's usually the people that are willing to take the biggest risk. And that used to be me a few months ago. That used to be me taking the biggest risk, doing like the freaking dumbest trades ever, and I was impatient, right? And what I've learned from these last couple months is I've learned to be a lot more patient now, right? Spending not as much time on the market has taught me a lot of things. I'm still very active in the market. I mean, my current job that I'm in is still in crypto, so I'm still aware of what's going on with the crypto market. So it's not like I'm completely out of this market, but my mindset has definitely changed, right? Like, my mindset has now changed more to the longer term perspective. Like, I do not have to go ahead and make 6 or 7 figures overnight, right? It's like, obviously that's the goal for the end of the season, but I don't have to make it overnight. And once you start to get into that mindset that you don't have to make this money overnight, you're going to be able to not only grow the patience in the market, but you're also not going to freak out when you start to see these markets just continue to dump. And the reason why we've been seeing the markets just continue to dump is 2 reasons, right? So one of the reasons was that we had a lot of the hype with the Bitcoin ETF, right? A lot of people had a lot of high expectations for the Bitcoin ETF. And the second one was the Bitcoin halving. A lot of people had high expectations for the Bitcoin halving. And unfortunately, you know, the Bitcoin halving doesn't mean shit. And people I don't want to say overanalyze, but overestimated that Bitcoin was going to do this big thing after the Bitcoin halving and the Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin has to go to 100,000. And I remember back when Bitcoin was, you know, at these ranges, like back over here, somewhere over here, or I don't know where it was at exactly. I think it was somewhere around here. Yeah, right here. This is where the ETF talks were going. I was talking about how Bitcoin has been overpriced and how we haven't had any real correction, right? So we have been seeing the stock market continue to make new all-time highs, yet Bitcoin is falling, the crypto market is falling, and people are going, what is going on, right? And what is going on is that, as I mentioned, people just had high expectations about this market, and we're getting greed. We have high levels of greed. People have made so much freaking money these last 6 to 8 months, and a lot of people got lucky, and that's really what the reality is. A lot of people just got lucky. It was just the perfect time in the market. And the thing is that this is the thing with the market, right? You could go ahead and continue to make money. You can make money in this market. You could turn a couple $100 or a couple grand into a couple thousand, and you feel like you're the king of the world, right? And I'm telling you based on my personal experience of what has happened to me, where I was able to turn a couple $100 into a couple grand, and I felt like I was like the fucking best trader ever. And the reality is that those stupid mistakes that you've made along that time, and you just happen to be at the right time at the right place, or you just happen to like be in the right group that gave you that alpha to jump in, or you just happen to have the friggin' balls to just go deep into a position and make a shitload of fucking money, and essentially you were able to time the market almost perfectly, right? And you were able to stomach that. Well, there gets to a point where the market continues to reward you, right? As you see, the market has been rewarding a lot of people. And it seems like a lot of people just continue to double down. And this is where we've started to see a lot of short squeezes with Bitcoin, right? And the levels of greed just continued. People just doubling down. People thinking they're like the best traders ever. People just doing like overly leveraging themselves. Like, let's say, for example, like me, like when I went ahead and I threw in a huge decent position on leverage on a meme token, which was the dumbest thing ever looking back to it. And I thought I was going to be I was the best trader, right? And this is what we kind of have when it comes into this market. Well, eventually it gets to the point where like most of the people that made a lot of the money right here, I'm going to be completely honest, start to lose a lot of their money right here. And as the market continues to fall, right? So all the people that made all their money on the way up to the market, those people that continue to have the level of greed and thought they were like the best trader alive, usually tend to go ahead and start losing their money right here and also down right here. So what I'm trying to tell you is that in reality, the market could even go as low as $40,000. And this would be the worst case scenario. We go down to $40,000 and we just entertain this range for a while before Bitcoin decides to even do anything. And as I mentioned, the reason being is because this is just really a shakeout. Literally, the market makers are here just to have you lose all your money, and that's essentially their goal. And this is the reason why I decided to kind of step to the side and stop leverage trading, because I've realized that I was just losing money back to back. And it wasn't that I wasn't making it's not that I was wrong about my positions, is that they manipulate the market before it goes in your direction. So what they'll go ahead and do, as you see right here, we see this inverse head and shoulders pattern where it pumped and then it got quickly rejected by the market, and it was essentially a fake out, right? So imagine the people that just continue to double down on their position, and even the people that will continue to double down. If this thing doesn't pick up, guess what's going to happen? They're going to get squeezed out of their position. They're going to go ahead and get liquidated. And the people that are hitting their stop losses are just going to continue to fall very quickly. So this is the reason why I think that if we do continue to see this downside to the market, $50,000 is around the corner. And it doesn't mean that crypto is officially dead. What's going to happen is that the market's going to slowly just bleed out. If it's not slowly, it's going to be very quickly. And it might just stay here within this range, or what it might go ahead and do is might just dump quick down to that $49,000, $47,000, get everybody out of their positions, and then just reverse very quickly and then go in the upside direction and make new all-time highs. And essentially what the market does right here is that they do this to go ahead and get everybody out of their long positions and get them liquidated. Essentially, the market maker is going to go ahead and make money, not only getting you out of your position, but they're also going to go ahead and buy the bottom and then just push it to the upside. And this is typically the kind of behavior that we see before we see a massive move in the market. And this is the reason why I'm not worried, because I know where the market's going to go from 6 to 8 months from now, and it might go even sooner, right? I might be underestimating it, but if you're just patient enough, 6 to 8 months, this market is going to reward you very, very well. But in reality, the crypto market's not for everybody, and this is where you're going to go ahead and get tested, right? Like back over here, for all those that are brand new to the market and have never witnessed a bull run, or this is your first time ever being in a market, when you get these corrections, you get them pretty bad, and they're going to shake out a lot of people. They're going to shake out a lot of freaking people, and they're going to go ahead and get you wrecked. And that's the whole point when we have this kind of structure in the market, right? So unfortunately, this is the reason why I'm saying a lot of people won't make it in this market, because a lot of people won't be able to handle the volatility. Most people that are new to this market have only been seen upside. They've only been rewarded with upside momentum. So the moment Bitcoin starts to correct, or the market starts to correct, people start to panic. And this is the reason why we start to see this sort of panic and massive correction in the market, because people just start freaking out. They think it's going to go, they think it's going to crash, it's over, and a lot of people just lost a lot of money, right? And essentially, this is what happens when the market doesn't really retrace. As you see, the Bitcoin has never really had a real freaking a dip, bro. Like, it hasn't really done shit these last couple months, and this is the reason why, since back in around December, I was calling for Bitcoin to go ahead and eventually have to correct. And I was saying that the higher the market continues to go, the harder the fall is going to be, and the longer the market's going to take in order for us to have that bull run, right? And essentially that's what we're seeing right now. So what's going to continue to happen? I wouldn't be surprised if we do see, $50,000 Bitcoin coming in the next coming days. I'm not too surprised if that happens. The DXY is looking okay, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the DXY, but essentially the bullish thing for me that I would want to see for Bitcoin, and this is still not bearish, right? Like what I'm talking about right now, this could just be a fake out where it could even just dump even as quick as $50,000 and then just quickly reverse, or maybe it dumps a little bit slightly below 55 and then reverses. So I wouldn't go ahead and count this as complete bearishness, but I will go ahead and say that it's definitely not looking too good for the market. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bullish case scenario, right? Bullish case scenario is just a liquidity grab. And what I would like to see for Bitcoin before I start getting bullish, I would like to see a break and hold about $64,000. And that's really where I'm going to leave it as. There's really not much for us to talk about. All we have to say is we need to see Bitcoin break and hold above $64,000 in order for us to be bullish. If not, we're going to go ahead and see that $50,000. And I'm kind of pushing more towards that $50,000, but anything could change. We'll see where things go. Now, for the DXY, and this is the very interesting thing right now for the DXY has been seeing some downside to it. But the interesting part to it right now, we are at some very neutral levels. And in order for the DXY to continue to fall, I would like to see it lose its range of the 105, 150, right? So it's looking pretty good, but if the DXY does reverse from here, then this just means it's going to go up even higher. And that means the DXY might even go up to 107. And that just means we're going to continue to see more bleeding in the crypto market. So a move like this doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And we were looking at the RSI yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this indicator that I have. I don't know what happened to my RSI, but for some reason it just doesn't show up. But let's go ahead and look at our RSI right now when I click it. And as you see right here in the RSI, typically with the DXY, every time we see it go up is usually when the market tops. Right now it looks like some sort of cup and handle possibly. So there's a possibility that I hope this does go up, because that just means we'll continue to see a little bit more bleeding in the market. But once it tops, it usually tops. As you see, when the DXY topped right here, the crypto market did pretty well. When the DXY topped right here, the crypto market did pretty well. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that I believe we're going to still have a continuation to the downside, and we will continue with more bleeding. But I do think that maybe towards the end of July, early August is when we might start to see that reversal again in the market. Remember, Bitcoin last year, 2023, started to reverse and be very, very bullish leading into August, October. Towards the end of August, early October, that's when the market started to pick up and we started to have that whole entire season run up again, right? So maybe we have a move like that. But what has been interesting, we really haven't had that meme coin season that we usually have within this time period. So this is what I'm very interested about. But as I mentioned, right now, I would just suggest either, obviously not financial advice, you either go ahead and DCA. I think the market might dump a little bit more, so I'm just going to stay USDC or USDT ready to the side. For me personally, I feel like I'm already kind of comfortable with my positions that I'm in. But ideally, I would like to go ahead and see where the market goes from here. So if Bitcoin could go ahead and dump a little bit more, and the market could go ahead and retrace, in my opinion, I might go ahead and add more to my positions. But ideally, this is the reason why I'm waiting, because I do think the market might dump a little bit more. If it doesn't, I'm okay with it, because essentially most of my positions I've already dollar cost averaged. So I'm okay. But if it really does dump even more, that's when I'm going to start deploying a little bit more capital into the market. As I mentioned, the only position I'm really under right now would be CRODI. That's my only position I'm under. So like if it does dump, let's say another 50 to 80%, even throwing another $200 to $300 down at that bottom is going to make up for the kind of money that I put in. I mean, as I mentioned, I have a total of about like 14 SOL in CRODI. So essentially, if it drops another additional 50 to 80%, $300 to $400 would do justice for my position. And when it does reverse, I'm going to be deep, deep, deep in profits when we get back to the higher levels, right? So we're going to see where things go. Very, very interesting. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some Solana. But before I do move forward with Solana, let me go ahead and read some comments real quick. Welcome, everybody, by the way. Goldie Crypto, long time no see. I'm glad to see you here today. Vernon says, I feel like a major shakeout is going to happen. The big players want to convince all the retail that the bull run is canceled. Then they pump the charts at juicy discounts. 100%. That's what I think is going to happen. That's exactly what I think is going to happen, Vernon. Goldie Crypto, good morning. Nice to see you again. Yeah, I appreciate you, Goldie. I'm excited to see you. It's been a long time no see. I've been wondering where you've been. So thank you for being here today. And hopefully this is not the last time I see you, Goldie. So you know how we talked about this inverse head and shoulders pattern for Solana? You know how I told you that this is a reason, this is a prime example why we always wait for confirmation, right? I mentioned yesterday, I said we want to go ahead and see the neckline break first before we start getting bullish on Solana, because we could go ahead and get this fake out where we see this inverse head and shoulders pattern and then out of nowhere it gets rejected and we fall down. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with Solana, right? So this is the reason, this is a prime example why you always want to wait for confirmation, because essentially this is what a liquidity grab is. You know, people will say, oh, look, it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, let me go ahead and go all in right here. They go all in, it pumps, it gets rejected, it's a fake out, and you get wrecked. So if Solana, or my next price target for Solana would be essentially down to this $95 area. So it's going to look juicy for Solana if it could go down to that range. But we'll see where things go for Solana. I'm here to stay. Awesome. Glad to go ahead and see you here, Goldie. I appreciate you. So yeah, so Solana, you know, looking quite interesting. As I mentioned, don't be surprised if the market continues to dump, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, look at these news right here. Biden's odds of dropping out surged to almost 80% on Polygon market after New York Times report. Bitcoin sinks under 61K as one trader sticks to $150,000 prediction this year. A crypto-backed credit card. That's really cool, but it looks like that's a sponsored ad, so we won't click on that. But DeFi tokens plunge 10 to 20%, led by Pendle amid weak crypto price actions to this week. Pendle has recently lost $3 billion of its TVL with the June expiry as a result of diminishing airdrop farming hype and lower yields amid muted crypto activity. You see just all these bad news. I mean, this is the reason why I don't look at news, because essentially all these news are always bad, and this is what scares most of the retail traders. And you don't want to be that. You just want to be informed of what's going on, right? Like, crypto industry is about to boom, it's outperforming the internet. Interesting. That's one bullishness. Trump Biden tussles sees politify sector lose luster as Bowden drops 95% from its peak. Trump, the largest polified token, is down 10% in a day, 34% in the last week, and Trump, the counterpart of Bowden, is down double digits, nearly 10% in the last 24 hours, and 37% on the week. As we see, Solana-based Joe Bowden meme, a play on Joe Bowden mixed with Donald Duck, has dropped 70% in the past week. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was actually waiting for that drop, and that's kind of the reason why I've never bought into Bowden, because I did see, I was looking at the charts, and hopefully this thing loads up. I was looking at the charts, and I did see this massive head and shoulders pattern, right? I saw this massive head and shoulders pattern right here, and I was like, all right, this is going to be bearish. And then I saw this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and wait until I get that breakout to the neckline to load up on a position, because more than likely that's going to go up, right? And I'm glad I waited, because as you see right now, Bowden has dropped by fucking a lot, man. I mean, if we go ahead and measure this top to this bottom, this thing has dropped over 97%. And this is what I'm saying. This is the reason why a lot of people won't be able to make it in this run, in this bull run, because a lot of people won't be able to stomach a 90% loss, right? But if you understand the narratives, if you understand the bullishness that you're in the project, you're going to be able to get into these projects with no problem. You might consider buying the dip, right? Actually, these are at levels that I've been waiting, and this is why I'm excited for this dump, right? I'm actually happy for Bitcoin and crypto to continue to dump. I mean, it sucks that a lot of my positions, are down. I wish, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really time the market 100%, right? But it does kind of suck because a lot of these positions that I entered with dollar cost average these last couple weeks obviously would have been worth a lot more if I would have bought in just now, right? I would have been able to have more value into it. But as I mentioned, if you're not timing the market, you just dollar cost average. What I'm trying to say is that Bowden's at a really good price, bro. Super good price from where it's at right now. And from its all-time high, this is over 30x. So, like, to me, I'm going to be completely honest, at 0.03 cents, this is the move. So I might even consider loading up on some freaking Bowden. Shout out to Anonymous. This is Dabmaster's token. Was doing pretty well, but obviously with the whole entire Politify sector right now, it's just everything's dumping, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give them a call this next week and see what's going on. But the whole entire market's down right now. The thing is that with this token Anonymous, when it pumps like crazy, and when it dumps, it freaking dumps like crazy too, right? So I've been holding on to these positions. Still holding on to a few positions. As you see, my Crody position down 45%, bro. So hopefully it goes under 1 million. If it falls under 1 million, I'm definitely going to go ahead and load up and buy the dip on that probably. And as you see right here, my Anonymous position, bro, it's down a lot. At his all-time high, this thing was worth like almost $2,000. And right now it's worth about $200, right? So this is the time where a lot of these tokens that you consider your favorite and you like might be the time you want to go ahead and start buying, right? So as you see, Anonymous has fallen as well. This is all due to Anonymous is with the Politify sector, if you're not aware. So this thing is, when it retraces a lot, but when it pumps like crazy, right? So I'm looking to go ahead and load up on Bowden, load up on Anonymous. Crody, I'm already pretty much packed, but if it does fall under that 1 million market cap, best believe I will go ahead and throw in more money. I do like how all these political party tokens are also dumping, as I mentioned. I would like to ideally jump into Trump. Let's see what Trump is at right now. Hopefully this thing has dropped a lot too, because I do think that we will be getting into, yeah, it's dumped quite a bit, but not too much, right? It hasn't dumped too much. So hopefully this thing could drop a little bit more. If it could drop down to like 18 cents, that'll be freaking amazing. 18 cents for Trump. But yeah, it looks like a lot of these tokens are retracing, but these are all buying opportunities, right? So I'm actually glad we're seeing this dip in the market, because there has been a few tokens I've been eyeing, such as I mentioned, Bowden has been a token I've been wanting to get into. So it looks like I'm finally going to be able to do that soon. Ponky has definitely been a project I've been wanting to get into. Salama has been one I've been getting to get into. Now this thing has dropped a lot too, 11 million. And Magic Internet Money, let's see what Magic Internet Money is at. $570,000. So Magic Internet Money, if this thing falls below 100k, bro, this thing's gonna be amazing. But it looks like the bottom is near on this. If this is not the bottom, I think this might be the bottom, honestly, for Magic Internet Money. I don't see it doing much from these levels, but essentially Magic Internet Money is at its practically all-time lows right now, right? So if we could go ahead and get another 50% dump on Magic Internet Money, that'd be great. But it does have a lot of upside too, so this is like the time to buy, not financial advice. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the base tokens. Base tokens, Degen has been one I've been wanting to get into, which is a layer 3 to base, which is a layer 2. So Degen has dumped a lot, and I'm actually glad I've waited because I really wanted to get into some Degen. And this is actually like an altcoin with, I guess if you want to call it, real utility. It's not a meme token. This is actually like an altcoin. It's listed on like crypto.com and a lot of exchanges. So I'm actually glad to see where Degen's at. Now, the thing that I just see right now that it's interesting, it looks like liquidity is going to be unlocking. 10% of the liquidity is going to be unlocking in 4 days. So this could potentially mean that we might see an additional dump on Degen. So if we could get Degen back at these levels right here under 0.00 like freaking 3 or something, that's going to be looking freaking good. So it looks like a lot of these things are in fire sales, guys. So essentially, a lot of the tokens you've been wanting to get into, this might be the time to go ahead and start buying, right? I've been wanting to get into Degen, and I'm just like, I don't know if I feel like buying Degen at a freaking almost 0.06, right? I'm just like, I think it's a little overpriced. So like looking at it now, it's like, dude, this is the fire sale. Now let's go ahead and talk about, you know, a few of the tokens we're in. You know, I'm a big believer in Andy. Andy's down quite a bit. It's currently at a 14 million market cap. I do believe this thing might continue to go down. We might even see, you know, 9 million market cap again if it does continue with this head and shoulders pattern. So overall, as you see, the market's looking very, very bearish. So unless some miracle happens in the next coming days, which is possible, we could just see a fake reversal to the market and we just see a pump up like crazy, right? But overall, Andy's also looking quite bearish, and you know how bullish I am on this position. And it kind of sucks because I think I threw in about 1K around right here after being deep in profits in my position. So you know, it's good to see, you know, 1K literally be down over 67% now in my position. So I'm disappointed because imagine what that 1K down here would have done for me. That would have bought me a lot more tokens, right? So essentially, if I do see Andy come back down to 9 million, I will load up quite a bit on that too. Benny, I just loaded up on that too as well. I just bought the dip on that. Benny's pretty much at like very low levels. So for any of you that have been wanting to jump into Benny, this might be your time. Not financial advice. I mean, we could go ahead and expect this to probably fall slightly below 500,000, maybe even 300,000. So just be on the lookout for that. If I do see it come down to those levels, I'll definitely go ahead and start to load up. But it looks like a lot of these tokens, especially the meme tokens, are near a bottom or are going to be heading towards a bottom, right? Because a lot of these tokens like Magic Internet Money, freaking Benny's quite at a bottom, Andy's near a bottom, Crody, I think, is at a bottom, but we'll find out if it dumps more. A lot of these tokens are near or at a bottom now, right? So a lot of buying opportunities. Same thing with the altcoin market. Altcoin market too is at a freaking buying opportunity right now. So let's go ahead and read the comments right here. If it dumps further, the right shoulder will be validated. Felon. What is Felon? Is that a token? They have a 7.5% treasury, and if you add the LP and the lockups, over 30% of supply will not be moving for MIM, but the volume is trash. I think Sol is going to dump to 95, so the bottom is not in. Since Magic Internet Money is tied to Sol, it will dump hard if it does. Yeah, 100%, man. I agree with you. So I do think we could go ahead and see Solana drop to $95. Now that we saw the inverse head and shoulders pattern got rejected. So now what we're more than likely going to see for Sol is we're probably going to go ahead and see it get rejected back at 104 and then come back down to roughly around that 95. If we could go ahead and see it go lower, that'd be obviously great. But as we see, there's very strong levels of support at around 90 and around 106. So I'm expecting Sol to drop down to these levels. So dude, this is going to look scary for the market. Like, for those that are not ready and not aware of what's going on, people are going to wake up and fucking panic, bro. Like, people are going to wake up to their portfolio fucking net down like 50, 80%. They're going to panic sell. And we're going to get everything for a sell, right? And then, you know, dude, Solana at these levels right here, dude, if Solana could ever go down to like these ranges right here, like I would load up like crazy. So I fingers crossed Solana drops to $92. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's like I really hope it does, but at the same time, it's like fuck, dude. I could just imagine what my Crody position is gonna look like, but that's okay. I mentally prepared myself. I saw the charts and I told myself, look, I do know that Crody could drop still another additional 80%, and I'm willing to go ahead and stomach that, right? So be prepared for maybe a little bit more downside. I mean, maybe this is a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern too, now that I'm realizing. Maybe this is what this is. Like this. No, I don't think that would make sense. I mean, it could be. Where we see it go like this. Just a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, imagine. But honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm kind of going towards the gets rejected, falls back down, consolidates for a while, reverses. This is what I'm expecting more of for Solana. And a lot of these tokens. Even, I know one of them that has been very popular for like an altcoin has been Sui. I know a lot of people have been very bullish on that token. And as you see, like, I predicted Sui to dump since like back over here at $99. And look at where Sui's at right now. I've told a lot of people that I did see Sui coming down to 55 cents. And eventually, essentially, I really think it could even go as low as 30 cents. So as you see, Sui freaking pumped like over $2. So this thing has did over a 4x, which is not too bad, but I do know Sui's super hyped. So I think this could be like a 10 plus token, in my opinion. 10, 20 plus token. So see, I wouldn't buy Sui. Like I didn't find Sui attractive at these levels. I just didn't. I'm just like, dude, I'm not gonna pay fucking $2 for this shit. And now I'm just like, I wouldn't mind paying $50 for this shit. You know, I mean, we are just at a nice area of support right now, but I wouldn't mind paying, you know, 50 cents for this is what I meant, not $50. 50 cents seems more reasonable, and if it could fall down to 30, dude, that'd be amazing. But I think anywhere between 50 to, let's just call it 30 cents could be very doable. But I think we're more than likely probably going to push down to the 50 cents if we continue to see Sui get rejected as well. And Sui's a pretty top altcoin, right? An altcoin that I've been looking at very heavily, that I've been wanting to buy. And I haven't been buying altcoins because I feel like altcoins have been overpriced. And I told myself that once I get the opportunity to load up on altcoins, I will go ahead and do it. And unfortunately, I feel like altcoins have been overpriced. So a lot of these altcoins moving forward will go ahead and give you that buying opportunity that a lot of you have been waiting for. Another token that I've been watching very carefully has been Aerodrome. This is Base's DEX. So if you believe in Base, you should believe in Aerodrome, right? And as you see, dude, like Aerodrome has just literally gone to shit, bro. Like it has pumped from like 9 cents all the way as high as $2, and ever since then has just continued to just dump over 77% retracement, right? I'm very bullish on Aerodrome. I'm super bullish on Aerodrome, but yeah, 50 cents, I don't know about 50 cents. I might feel a little bit more comfortable buying Aerodrome at these levels, like at 30 cents. I think it seems a little bit more reasonable. Even if we could even get as lucky as coming down to 10 cents, that'd be fucking great. So fingers crossed we could go ahead and get Aerodrome at these levels too. Like if we could get Aerodrome at these ranges right here, if it continues to get rejected, this is gonna be freaking amazing, bro. This is gonna be like the buying opportunity of a lifetime. And this is the reason why moving forward, like, I'm not deploying any capital into crypto. Like I'm already set. I'm good. I'm okay deploying capital. Like I already deployed some capital 3 days ago, I think, or 2 days ago. I deployed a couple $100 and I'm just USDT ready, like USDC. Like I'm just stacking right now. I'm not gonna go ahead and deploy any more capital into the market right now until I see where Bitcoin's gonna go. And I think Bitcoin's gonna go to 50,000, and a lot of these altcoins are still gonna have a retracement. And if I could pick up Aerodrome at like 10 cents, bro, like this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Because Aerodrome, I think realistically, this bull run could probably be like a $20 plus token. So like I would consider loading up on a lot of these altcoins within these ranges. So we'll see where things go, but I'm actually kind of excited. I'm a little worried because I'm like, where the fuck is my position gonna go for Crody? Like hopefully that shit doesn't go below crazy under 1 million, but there's a high probability it will, you know, and I'm okay with that. I mentally prepared myself for that in a lot of my positions, so I really don't care about where my positions go. I'm kind of looking at this right now where I'm just like, you know what, let me just put my head down, let me just try to make as much money as possible, and let me go ahead and have money ready to buy the dips. So I'm really just looking at this market ready to buy the dips. So I'm actually kind of excited of where the market's going. Because I do have a few coins I would like to load up. I'd love to load up on Solana. Like if I could get Solana at like under $95 or like under 90, that'd be great. We could even get it at 50. I don't think we'll get it at 50, but if we do, that'd be freaking amazing. Toncoin, I've been wanting to get some Toncoin, but at $7, bro, I'm not gonna freaking get it. Like if we could get like a 50% of this down on Toncoin, that would look super good. But yeah, I don't think I would lock me up with some Toncoin right now. I think Toncoin is just way too overpriced from where it's at right now. So I would like to see Toncoin come back to like around the $1.50 to the $2 range. So, you know, write this down on a piece of paper, guys. Write this down on a piece of paper, your notes, whatever the case is on your phone. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but, you know, even Avalanche is looking pretty juicy. Like, if we could get Avalanche below, like, $10 again, super ready for that. Like, if we could get Avalanche back at, like, under around $20, we're at 25, so we're almost near. Like, if we could get Avalanche at around $20 ideally, or even like $18, that'd be your buying zone. But I think Solana, Avalanche too, has already dumped a lot. I mean, from $60 to 25 is actually quite a bit. So if we could get it at like $18, $20 is not going to be too bad. Now the problem is we could sit here and wait to try to time in the market, and unfortunately we won't be able to. So just keep that in mind too. So this is the reason why I'm saying maybe your best ability might just be dollar cost averaging, because we won't be able to catch all these tokens at a discount eventually. Because if we do see the market reverse, then there goes our time for waiting, right? I like XLM, but I don't know about XLM right now. Filecoin, I definitely do see value in that. But I think Sui is definitely one I'm looking at right now. I would like to get the dog with hat. If you could get dog with a hat under $1, that'd be amazing too. Because I think this thing is going to be an easy 10 and 20x plus, no problem. It's at a 1.8 billion market cap, so almost at like 2 billion. As you see, it went as high as $4. So I think this is going to be like a $10, $20 plus token this season. So essentially, if we could get like dog with hat at under around, let's just call it like, if we could get it within this range at like, call it $1.30, even if you could get it at like 90 cents, dude, that'd be like the buying opportunity. 33 cents would be the buying opportunity, but I don't think we'll see that. But definitely under $1, I think is very doable for dog with hat. So a lot of these meme tokens are correcting a lot. Like these blue chip meme tokens, that's like their best bet in my opinion to be exposed to the underlying blockchain, which would be Solana. If you're bullish on Solana, being exposed to these meme tokens on Solana is the move. So I think a lot of the DEX tokens, like anything that's like a DEX, like a Uniswap, a Jupiter, a 1inch, that's going to be your best bet loading up as well. Not financial advice, but this is what I'm looking at, and I feel like a lot of this has gone to a point where it was overvalued, and like I would have never bought fucking Jupiter at $1.77, bro. Like I just wouldn't touch it. I thought it was overpriced. Now at 78 cents, way better. Way better. So like I would say ideally if we could even get it, it's actually at a pretty nice area of support. So this might be a near bottom for Jupiter, right? Unless you can get it under 50 cents or around 50 cents, I'll be good. But Jupiter, it looks like it's also near bottom. But if you could get it under around 50 cents, that'd be freaking great. So as you see, as I mentioned, a lot of these tokens are near bottom already. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at Jupiter. Gala will probably be an interesting one. The gaming ones for sure, like Beam like was super overpriced in my opinion these last couple months. So dude, I'm excited for what we're gonna see in the market, and this is the reason why I mentioned earlier, like a lot of people just won't be able to stomach this, because like a lot of people would probably be freaking out right now looking at the market. But like when you change your mindset and you start looking at this, like, oh shit, dude, we're gonna get like the biggest sale ever, the biggest opportunity for you to make a lot of money when it's red. You buy in the red, bro. I told a lot of you want to start buying when you start getting towards the fear and the extreme fear. You don't want to be buying towards greed. Towards greed is usually when you want to start selling your positions. But anyways, with back to CoinMarketCap, I really want to load up on Caspa. I've been hearing a lot of hype about Caspa, but dude, I think 17 cents is a little too pricey. I wouldn't buy Caspa at 17 cents. Maybe I'm missing out. Hopefully, if we could ever get Caspa like 4 cents, that'd be amazing. I don't think we will. I mean, maybe worst case scenario for Caspa, we get it at 8 cents or even as low as like 10 cents. But I don't know what's up with Caspa, like going down. If obviously it would be a buying opportunity, we could get it at 3 cents. At 17 cents, I feel like this thing just has run up a lot, but people are saying this is going to be the next big thing. So I guess time will tell, but essentially I don't think Caspa's going to do much. Hopefully I'm wrong and it does. Hopefully it does dump more. And if it does dump more, I'm definitely going to be considering Caspa. But I did want to mention also Ethereum Classic. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, bro, what's wrong with you? Ethereum Classic. Well, hear me out on this. I think Ethereum Classic might eventually also try to like push for like an ETF, or I think I know GBTC, I think it's called, or Grayscale. It has massive holdings on Ethereum Classic. And what really attracted me to Ethereum Classic is that essentially, like what I've noticed is that typically after every bull run, usually after Ethereum does very, very well, Ethereum Classic does very well as well. As you see back in the last cycle, we saw Ethereum Classic go as high as $127, right? So I think Ethereum Classic could probably go above like $200 to $300 this season. So this is not a crazy returns, but you could go ahead and stack up a little bit more money since this is not going to dump and fluctuate a lot, right? So Ethereum Classic right now does look like it's near a bottom. Ideally, getting it around the 19. If you could get lucky at the $15 range, that'd be good. $13. But I think Ethereum Classic is near bottom as well. So a lot of these tokens are near bottom, I think. And if they're not near bottom, then that's going to be fucking great, because practically a lot of this is going to be on sale. We saw Uniswap perform pretty well this season, these last couple months. Let's see where it's at right now. It's at $8.22. We saw last bull run, it was at $42. Obviously just a lot of selling pressure, and then it went as high from like $5 all the way up to like $14, which is about 2.5x. So not much craziness for Uniswap. Ideally around the $5 range would be a pretty good buy and entry point. So we could get Uniswap at like $5. That'd be a pretty nice little setup. But I'm kind of a little bit more bullish on base, I'm going to be honest. But I think Uniswap might also be a thing this season. I mean, honestly, all DEXs will. So at the Jupiters, your Radiums, your Jupiters, your Radiums, whatever other freaking token I just talked about. Oh, Aerodrome, the Dexes. Those are going to be the move, in my opinion. Hey, Veg Food, how's it going, bro? Hope you're having a good one. Chupu on Soul. What's the smart contract? Smart contracts. I think I got Dex tools right here. I mean, without even having to look at the chart, like I kind of already told you, like I think a lot of these tokens are probably going to retrace quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, this thing's at a head and shoulders pattern right now, so we'll see where the bottom's in. Maybe it does something like this. So essentially everything's going to be just kind of doing a move like this before it does anything, before we start to see this breakout to the upside. Look at the bigger time frames. Looks like a head and shoulders forming. We saw whiff at 200k ones. It was trending and it looked like it was for a minute. I was cool, but I wasn't too appealed. Yeah, man, I wish I was in during the meme coin season, like the Solana meme coin season. Unfortunately, I wasn't part of that, but I'm hoping to be part of it this cycle again. So I'm super excited to what's to come. But yeah, dude, I think right now, as I mentioned, we're near bottom, or we're at a bottom in the market. So we'll see where things go moving forward. But besides that, I mean, don't be surprised if we do see the market continue to dump. That's a high probability. We could go ahead and see that, or this could be just like the biggest fucking like shakeout of the market. We could probably see something like this, as you see with Bitcoin right here. We could probably go ahead and see a similar structure like this. Like, I wonder if I could get the tool where I could copy it. Let's see. Essentially, it could also be a move like this, as you see right here, where Bitcoin did this. And it could still be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And this is the reason why, like, we gotta also still keep that in mind, that realistically, Bitcoin could still go for that inverse head and shoulders pattern. So we might just all get faked out, thinking we're gonna go to 50,000, and we might just play this inverse head and shoulders pattern like we saw right here. But I'm more pushing towards that $51,000 in Bitcoin, to be honest. We'll see. I guess time will tell. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody being here today. I'm going to go ahead and shell out my Blofin. So go ahead and make sure to sign up using my Blofin link down below in the description. $5,000 in sign up bonuses. No KYC, takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. And you can go ahead and leverage trade all the way up to 100x. Go ahead and support the channel by using my link down below. Fear and greed chart right now currently at 50 on fear. I don't expect much in the market in the coming days. Major holiday today for the US, 4th of July if you are in the US. And if you're not, it's a major holiday. So we'll see where things go by the end of this week. I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Goldie. Thank you, Vernon. Thank you, Happy. I appreciate every one of you. I'm freaking exhausted, bro. I literally have to wake up in a few hours to go to work. So I appreciate everyone. I'll go ahead and catch you all onto the next one.